Um, how you guys doing? Welcome to an episode of the CineGuy. I'm your host, Steven Angulo. Let's talk film. So, oh my gosh, I almost died back there. All I did was say that coronavirus isn't not some hidden government conspiracy. And of course, they don't like it when you don't agree with their political beliefs, so they decided they want to kill you. And that is exactly the case with this new 2020 political satire. However, instead of making fun of like politicians or right-wing media, this film targets two groups of people who, let's face it, they are asking for it. Liberals and conservatives. Honestly, these two, they're like two bickering siblings. Always yelling at each other, wanting to like prove that they're right. I mean, they're at the point that they want to kill each other. Which, it has come to this. Because with this film, it sees the liberal elite targeting basically, I don't want to call them conservatives, mostly because I don't know, there are still some people out there with those kinds of beliefs who are nothing like this. Let's just call them right heads. As for the liberal elite, let's call them left heads, because these two were pretty much just stereotypical. Like, if you say the word liberal, you think, oh yeah, that person who, you know, equal rights for women and gays and climate change, and what did you say about the black people? And when you hear conservative, you're like, get her done, gun-toting, patriotic, this land is my land, this land is yours, also don't be gay because God said so. But no, this one, yeah, basically that's the stereotypes for these two, and that's what this film highlights. So let's see, the hunt has 12 people in the middle of nowhere. They're given guns and are killed off one by one. Already this sounds like pure Tarantino right here. Although the execution, well, it ain't Tarantino. Once the movie starts, you have no idea who to root for. I mean, it's got like, you start with these like an A-list cast. I mean, look, there's Emma Roberts. She dies. Justin Hartley. He dies. Ike Barinholtz makes it a bit, and then he dies again. The only hero is Betty Gilpin, who, well, she's a military-trained individual, and the funny thing is, she doesn't even belong there. I mean, each of the right heads has, like, you know, their own stereotype. One likes guns a lot. One is a big game hunter. The other is anti-gay. One is a conspiracy theorist. As for Betty Gilpin, there's like no reason for her to be there other than apparently she tweeted. She had a tweet that challenged the left heads, saying, this hunt is nothing. It ain't real. And of course, the person in charge, played by Hilary Swank, was like, excuse me? We'll make it real, because this whole thing started off as a joke, apparently. And now it's a real thing just because somebody couldn't keep their mouth shut. And the thing is, chances are it wasn't even her. Like, they got the wrong person. Maybe it was like the same name, but like different Twitter account. So, in a way, the left heads screwed themselves up, because they wanted to, like, you know, attack those who were not like them. But Betty is like, she's like right in the middle in a way to say, because like her beliefs are unknown. It doesn't say whether she's like conservative or liberal or even in the center. She just wants to survive. She's like pretty much every American in this country right now. Just like, they just want to make it. That's it. She's not all, oh, they got me here just because I voted for Trump. No, it's more like, where am I? I gotta get the heck out of here. Like, oh my gosh, that's a mistake on their part, because she was super badass. I mean, she took down like the assailants one by one, and it was at that point where like you don't even know who to trust anymore, because like it's all about a game of survival. And oh my gosh, the stereotypes. Now the question does remain, is this film a good enough satire when it comes to political differences? Yes and no. and I'll explain. The stereotypes are there because, like, okay, that's the right hand, that's the left head. But, like, I don't know. It's kind of like, it just plays off on those stereotypes. It doesn't really make a good social commentary on, like, hey, even though we're different, we can still find some common ground. No, it's more like, bang, bang, everyone dies. Because, like, oh, everyone was, like, basically, it was like their lines were written by Reddit or a Facebook comment section. Like, the left heads are all like, hey, don't call them black people, they're African Americans. Or, look, climate change is real because a polar bear on an iceberg. The right heads are like, oh my god. Because, like, one of my favorite scenes was, like, so Betty Gilpin and this other guy, they board a train to try to escape. And in the train is full of, like Somalian refugees. And they're all like, hey, help us a lady and her baby. And of course, the dude's like, no, we gotta kill them. They're part of this game. They're not real. But, like, the way he said it wasn't in a I just want to go home kind of way. It was more like, oh, illegals. Oh, I mean, even when they get stopped by, like, at a refugee center by the army, like, yeah, this film is everywhere pretty much. One of the guys was like, hey, cool it, man. You're trying to get us killed. So, like, okay, so they are, I guess only he is the one acting, and the rest are real. Like, I don't know, this film is like, it's a stereotype galore. Like, did a 4chan dude write this movie? Oh my god. Well, not 4chan, more like, I don't know, is there like a left-leaning 4chan? I guess a Reddit guy wrote this, and he's super left-leaning. And it's hard to explain. You gotta watch this movie to find out more, pretty much. The thing about this film is that it was highly controversial because, like, oh, you got killing people because they're voting for Trump. What's wrong with you? Oh, and then they're like, it's just a satire. Don't take it too seriously. But in a way, I don't think anyone should be offended with this movie at all, because, like, it just plays on stereotypes. Like, the way these, like, left heads and right heads were acting, nobody acts that way in real life. Who goes all like, oh yeah, I definitely own so many guns, and just brags about it. Like, I don't know, these characters were just too cartoony, and like I said, they were just, playing the roles of, oh, this is what you see on the internet. I mean, you see people talking trash on the internet when it comes to politics all the time, but, like, that's all it is. It's just talk. Nobody is gonna act on it. It's just a whole scream fest, and whoever yells the loudest is the winner, pretty much. They're the ones who are right. That's all it is. That's how life is. Nobody's gonna start, like, killing each other because they can't, agree on something. I mean, there have been fights in the past, but no one's gonna organize a massive battlefield to kill people. That's where, this is just Hollywood magic right here, pretty much. Now, what does work is the action scenes, alright? Because this film was a whole bloodfest. Like, oh my god, people were blowing up, getting shot in the head. It was just crazy. And that fight between Hilary Swank and Betty Gilpin was just super, like, oh my gosh, it was insane. Like, it wasn't liberal and conservative versus conservative. It was more like, badass female versus another badass female. It was like, okay, if you enjoy action films, you might enjoy this one. That's for sure. As a commentary, this does not work out at all. But as somebody's fantasies, like, okay, somebody insults you because you voted for somebody that they don't agree with, and then you turn this movie and you see that same person getting mutilated, and you're enjoying, like, haha, that's what you get. Like, there we go, that's all it is. It's just something to relieve stress when you've had, like, a massive political debate with somebody. That's all this movie is. Overall, it's an interesting concept that could have definitely worked, but I guess as a social commentary, it probably needed a little more time rather than an hour and a half long movie, because there's a lot they could have, dived into. This could have been a mini-series and it would have made a lot more sense. So, yeah, if they were trying to make a good point across, then that film would have been it. But if they were trying to make it like an action film that you can, kick back, turn off your brain, and enjoy people like, exploding, all right, you might as well watch this one then. So my rating is gonna be 6.6 pigs out of 10 headshots. I still don't understand what the pig was for. I mean, are you saying that all right heads are pigs, or why was the pig dressed up in like, he was wearing like a dress or something like that? It was dressed up. I didn't get like, the little like Easter egg they were trying to make with that. It was just like a random pig. Like, I don't know. I didn't write this film. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this review. Leave a like if you did, subscribe and join the crew, and we'll see you next time for another awesome review. Be sure to follow the Instagram at CineGuy for more fun reviews. And while we are still in quarantine, do just watch movies, man. That's a great way to kill time. That's for sure. Until next time, this is Steven Angulo signing off. That's a wrap. Oh, shit, back.